Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Rakah, Kadash. Citations and much love, respect, mercy to the few brothers, the few sisters that are actually seeking the Lord, following the Spirit, and following these words of Yahawashi, the words of the true prophets. As we follow Yahawashi, as we follow the Lord in this straight gate. And basically, I want to go into a topic of the mystery. This truth is a mystery. And you have a lot of these camps and guys, they'll talk about prophecy this and mark of the beast this and that, this, that, and the third, which that's not of any private interpretation. The scriptures talk about no prophecy is of any private interpretation. Do you know what that means? That means it's not a secret. The true secrets are only revealed unto the Lord's servants, his prophets, which is going into the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, which is within you. Lord said you won't say lo here or lo there, the kingdom of heaven, for behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you. So once you seek the Spirit and you look within yourself, right? Then you're going to find out where the true riches, the gold, the silver, the true riches, not the money of this world that fades away, the money that is inflated and liquidated and riches and money kept back by fraud. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. But what guys have done, they've taken this world and they've taken this word and they've formed this worldly truth of camps. So it's heavy, like just like the world, like they always wanted the government and church to be separate. But now the government and church isn't separate. They're together now. They've made a covenant together. You see, government goes into control one's mind. Gubermente, control the mind control. And then the church, these false churches, you see, so they have 501c3 charters, all these gifts and things that basically give the church and these false prophets and false pastors, it gives them money, it gives them the ability, and it gives them basically gives them license to sin. It gives them license to sin and not tell our people about the new covenant, not tell our people about the liberty of Yahawashi, and because the Lord said, freely you have received, freely give. Isaiah 55:1. Ho, come to the waters, drink freely. So this has nothing to do with Esau's currency, all right? Esau's money. And that's what our people covet after. They covet after the things that money can buy you. Vacations and harlots and gold and silver. You got these elderly guys talking about fucking Bitcoin. If Yahawashi, the true men of the Lord, they will not be talking about no goddamn Bitcoin. Oh, get you some Bitcoin. And no, you don't gotta get you no Bitcoin. Fuck Bitcoin. So there's a whole assault against the Spirit. So us as defenders of the gospel, we have to defend this. We have to defend it with our lives, and that's what we're doing. We're defending the truth unto death. So, like, I went to the video the other night about First Esdras 4. And they were basically going into how, what is the most powerful thing on the earth? They said it's wine. Some said it was women. But then it came down to the truth. And the truth is the most powerful, most strongest thing in this world. And like, you have that song, Who Runs the World, Girls. You have that song, Casuals, Everything Around Me. So like the vibration and like the spirit of the world and what the world song is like carnal things of flesh. Things that are temporary pleasures. The thing is about the Spirit is that it's an eternal pleasure. It's an eternal pleasure. It's a crown that never fadeth away. Romans 16:25. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahawashi HaMashiach. That's the key. The key to this truth and this ministry, this truth, this gospel, this Israelite movement, this awakening is the preaching of the cross, the preaching of Yahawashi. What Yahawashi did was he took away the sins of the world. He took away the sins of our nation. So the new covenant is going into you having your mind renewed, you thinking differently, you not having mortal thoughts and thinking of how the world thinks, but you're thinking how the word thinks. You're thinking how the Lord thinks, which his ways are higher than your ways. So You're going to be like the he-goats upon the mountains. You're going to be way up there where no one else was going to want to climb to. Because guys say, oh, don't go deep. Don't go deep. Don't get the too deep demon. That's what you're going to have to do when you're in the spirit. Follow the rabbit. Get deep into the spirit, into the mind of Yahawashi. It says, in the preaching of Yahawashi Mashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest and by the scriptures of the prophets. See, scriptures of the prophets. When you go into Jeremiah, right? When you study the book of Jeremiah, he wrote certain epistles. He wrote certain letters, right? And he would send them to the king. He would send them to the those in high seats. And what would the kings do to Jeremiah's letters? They would throw them into the fire. They didn't want no part of it. So that's why the Lord, when the Lord came, he said, "What? Don't cast your pearls to the swine." So if you don't know where we are at this point, then guess what? It's because you're lost. The Lord said, "If any man be ignorant to the gospel, let them be lost. Let them be ignorant." Ignorant means you don't know something, and a lot of guys, you don't know because you haven't been seeking the Spirit. You haven't been seeking the Lord 10 times more, and you haven't been following the Spirit. A lot of you guys ain't following Yahawashi. A lot of you guys are lukewarm. You see? It says, according to the commandment of their everlasting power, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith, right? The obedience of faith. Following after the things you can't see. Because the things we can see right now are temporal. Money, your bank account, your job, whatever. Your car, your house, whatever, man. Your YouTube channel, you can see that. You can see how much subscribers and likes you have. That's the things you can see. It is temporal. It's temporary. It's not forever. The thing is about faith, the things that's not seen are eternal. You see? And that's what you have to keep your sight on. Right? Now, this word mystery is really heavy, and I want to really examine it and really put light on it, because the mysteries are given unto the babes, the lowly. It's not given to the wise and prudent and the elderlies and guys that are highly exalted. They don't have the mysteries of Yahawashi. They do not have it. That's why they don't talk about it. The Lord said, profess not the knowledge you don't have. Guys ain't professing Yahawashi. So the word mystery goes into something that is difficult or impossible to understand or explain. You see? And the wicked, the evil men don't understand judgment. And that's one of the most important things about Yahawashi is the judgment, mercy, and faith. The three things that they omit in Matthew 23. When you go into omit, that means they cancel out. They reject that. They don't bring that to light. Because that's a part of the new covenant. The Lord said, don't judge by the outward, which that's going into the old covenant, but judge righteous judgment. The spirit, judge the mind, the heart, what's on the inside. Right? The condition, the mystery, right? Mystery, the condition of quality of being secret, strange, or difficult to explain. Secrecy, darkness. You see? Check this out. The practices, skills, or lore peculiar to a particular trade or activity and regarded as baffling to those without specialized knowledge. Now, I ain't done with this mystery work because it is heavy. It is heavy. All right? So, the origin of mystery, right, is a trade, right? Now, the origin of it is late Middle English from medieval Latin mysterium, contraction of ministerium, ministry. See, the Lord's ministry was what, 3 years? See, it wasn't 10, 20 years. And they were offended at Yahawashi because he wasn't an elderly apostle. You know, Yahawashi was like, before Abraham was, I am. So basically, Yahawashi was letting it be known, like, before Abraham even was a thought or even was created, that Yahawashi was already there. He was already created and born. Because he was the first only begotten son of Yahweh. He was the first spirit ever created. And now all things are created by him and through him. Now, what's heavy about that is that the people that were listening to him, the Pharisees, the scribes, right? The people of the synagogue, right? Of the camps and churches, they're like, you're only like 30 years old. How can you, not even being 50, have known Abraham, was before Abraham. They didn't understand the spirit. All they knew was the carnal, how old you are, who's your parents, what city you from. See, same thing now. 2 Peter 3:16 says, as also in all his epistles. Let me start at verse 15. It says, "And an account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul." And you have a lot of people, they'll say that Paul was a false prophet. You know, there's a lot of heresies and seducing spirits out here in these last days. It says, "It also according to the wisdom given unto him hath written unto you, as also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood." So what the Lord is doing with the elect right now, he's making our foreheads harder than their foreheads. See, stronger. Our mind is stronger. Our spirit is stronger. It says, hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest. See, they're wrestling. They're fighting against the Lord. They're not stable. They're not balanced. They're not on the foundation of YAHAWASHI. They're building on a whole different Messiah, an anti-YAHAWASHI. It says, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. See, that's what guys are doing. They're really unlearned. And guys act like they have the 100% truth. The guys be like, we know more than the prophets. They don't. They really don't. Really what they need is milk. Their bones are breaking. Their bones are depreciating. Now, that's another thing I want to get into too. The bones, right? The bones, which going into Ezekiel 37, the prophecy, the great army would stand up. But only those that are a part of YAHAWASHI's body. None of our bones are broken because we're the body of the Lord. We are the church. We are his body on earth. We embody the Lord. All right. Revelation 10:7. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, right? And we're in that time right now. We're in the end. We're in the time of the seventh trumpet. We're in the time of the seventh angel. We're in the time of these things being voiced, these things being said on earth as it is in heaven. So these things are happening in heaven and they're being said through the few men, the few chosen men, many called, few are chosen. The small sanctuary is being noised through us. It's being sounded through us. And only those that have ears to hear are going to be able to hear, while the other ones are going to be like, oh, well, where are you? What's going on? They're not going to know. They're not going to understand. And if you don't get it at this point, then that's on you. We're past the point of explaining. See, we're teaching right now. And it's it's heavy. It's like if you haven't been graduating and if you haven't been increasing and growing, it's like we're in for a common example, right? Like you have college degrees, right? You have your associates, you have your bachelors, and then you have the higher ones like the masters and the doctors. This is like we're at the point now in this truth where it's like what the Lord is saying and teaching is mastery. You see what I'm saying? Like high level. So if you're still in fucking elementary and middle school and fucking high school and all this bullshit and gossiping and talking about vocab and talking about other fucking men, all this bullshit, then you're not going to understand and you're not going to pass this test at all because you're not ready for this. You see? But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of power should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants, the prophets. You see that? Now, going into the bones, right? When David became king, right? When David became king, those that understood, right, the Lord's work and the counsel of the Lord, they came into a covenant with David and Samuel, and they said, we are bone of thy bone and flesh of thy flesh. You see, one. Whatever David was doing or whatever he believed in, or they were with it. They were one, where they were part of him. You see? So same thing with YAHAWASHI now, the King of Kings. All right, Ephesians 5 and verse 30. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. Now watch this out. Watch this. It says, this is a great mystery, but I speak concerning YAHAWASHI and the church. You see that? And the church. So this is the mystery of YAHAWASHI and the church. That what? We've left our carnal food, our carnal family, and because it's not blood that makes you family, it's actually loyalty. You see, it's who you serve, it's who you love. That's what makes you family. Who you listen to, what counsel you listen to. Look at that video the other day. Just because someone has a title doesn't mean their opinion matters. You see, doesn't mean they have they know what's best for you. Abraham's dad, he wasn't a man of the Lord. Abraham's dad was into idolatry, terror, something like that. So check this out, verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. So us as a wife of YAHAWASHI, you need to respect YAHAWASHI. Not have respect to persons, because it's not good to have respect to persons in judgment. And that's what guys are doing for elderly apostles and camp heads. You see, so when guys tell you, oh, you're not in the new covenant until you get a new body, that's a heresy. Because being that we're in the new covenant right now, guess what? We're one flesh with YAHAWASHI. We're dead with him. So being that we're dead to this world, we don't care about how the world looks at us or views us or whatever. We're going to live and reign with him because we are one with him. We're united with him. We agree with the Lord. We don't agree. We don't make... The Lord said in the law, right? If you make a covenant with the heathens, it's going to be a snare unto thee. I mean, you're going to die. You're gonna have a sorrow. You're going to have the sorrow that worketh condemnation, not the sorrow that worketh repentance. And that's what guys have chosen. Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. Right, and that's what YAHAWASHI did. YAHAWASHI left the father to what? Get to get his wife, to get his church, to matter of fact, let's go to Jude. Let's go to the book of Jude. I'm gonna continue on here. The book of Jude. So like I said, this is not for everybody. This is only for the few that actually, because when even in the society, like just being real, not everybody is able or can afford or even able to, because it's very difficult to complete a master's or doctor's degree. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about the wisdom of this world. I'm talking about the wisdom of the Lord. See, that's the height of the spirit that we're at right now. Jude 1 in verse 12. No, it's like Jude 1 in verse 6. And it's heavy because when you go to Psalms 119, the Lord talks about, I know more than my teachers because I keep thy testimonies. I know more than the elders, you see? It says Jude 1 and 6, and the angels which kept not their first estate. Right, we fell from grace. We fell from the covenant. We fell from the marriage of the Lord that was broken. You see? But left their own habitation. He hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. You see? So those of us that have the YAHAWASHI and we're watering the seed, we're breaking through the darkness with the light. You see? We're breaking every chain, every bound, every sin. We're breaking it and we're being set free by who? By YAHAWASHI. So this is who YAHAWASHI came for. This is who YAHAWASHI came for. So when you go into the judgment seat of YAHAWASHI, we all must appear before the judgment seat of YAHAWASHI to receive for what we've done in the flesh. That's why the Lord said, you are the temple of the Lord. The Holy Spirit dwelleth in you. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? If a man defile his temple, the Lord shall destroy him. You see? So what guys are doing, they're defiling their temple by what they're saying. Oh, I'm not in the new covenant until I get a new body. So they're being destroyed. They're being cut off from the body. You see? Lord said, if your eye offend thee, cut it off. If your hand offend thee, cut it off. So things are being cut off. You see? It says, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. You see? And that's what YAHAWASHI did. He cleaved, right, unto his wife, unto the elect. And the elect are cleaving unto YAHAWASHI, the word. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed, right? And we're not ashamed of the gospel. When you read, like the brother brought out, man, Isaiah, the Lord told him, hey, go be naked for 3 years. And he obeyed. He wasn't ashamed of obeying the voice and the counsel of the Lord. Same thing with Abraham when he said to go and sacrifice his son. Same thing with Ezekiel when he said, go make bread and put cow's dung in it. You know, these are all signs that it wasn't about the flesh that justifies man, but it's all about what's inside of you. That's what Yahawashi was trying to show you, that he's above the law. He is above the law. He is above the Sabbath. You see, he's above the carnal limitations. He's older. He was before Abraham. You see, he was before Moses. And this is why many were offended at him, and offended at Isaiah, offended at Ezekiel, offended at us, because we're the prophets and we have the mysteries. So what was another definition of mystery? It was something that's strange. Now, another thing about when people don't understand something, they get afraid of it. They fear it. They fear what they don't understand and they don't know. 1 Corinthians 2. And 4, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power. And that's what guys are doing. They teach the scriptures, and you know they have their own gospel, but they teach commandments of men, and they teach with enticing words. They entice you and they seduce you. That word entice is basically to persuade someone, to tempt, right? Tempt. To attract or tempt by offering pleasure or advantage, right? And that's what guys do, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. So just because, you know, guys are men pleasers and they stroke other men's egos, they do that so they can be an advantage. So they'll get subscribers, they'll get clout, you know, they'll get followers, they'll get whatever, man. You know, that's what guys are doing. You know, they'll be accepted by the synagogue. You got guys, they're afraid to be kicked out of camps. You see, like you have that example of that Pharisee. He basically believed on the Lord, but because of the synagogue and because of his seat and his riches, he didn't confess Yahawashi. He didn't fully follow Yahawashi. He couldn't. Proverbs 1:10, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. And that's what guys are doing. They're consenting to sinners. They're consenting to guys that have made a covenant with death, and at hell they are in agreement. You see, they have hell inside them. They make their followers twofold child to hell. So the kingdom of heaven is not within these guys. You see, 1 Corinthians. That's why their eyes are on the end of the world. You know, they're not. Their eye isn't single, full of light. 1 Corinthians 2:5. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. Now, the Lord said it what? Mark the perfect man, for the ends of that man are peace, right? Rest. That's our end. Our end is rest. That's the end we're at right now. We're entering into the Lord's rest. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, right? Not perfect of the flesh. That's what Isaiah showed you. That's what Ezekiel showed you. Paul showed you that. Paul had a thorn in the flesh. He wasn't perfect after the flesh. And the Lord gave him that thorn to what? To keep him humble. Because of all the great mysteries and revelations that was revealed to him. It says, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. So you got the princes of this world, the high priests, all the guys that are royalty. They're coming to nothing, you see. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom. See, it's on the inside. It's inside of you. Which God ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. You see that? So if they actually knew, if they weren't ignorant of the gospel, they wouldn't have crucified Yahawashi. They wouldn't have gave him up. They wouldn't have hated him. See, what the Lord said? Yahawashi said they hated me without a cause. They didn't even have a cause to hate Yahawashi. So same thing with us. Guys gonna hate us. They're not gonna have really a reason for it. Matter of fact, I was talking about the scripture the other night, and it's heavy. But the thing is about the wicked is that you're not gonna see. One thing you have to understand in this life when you live this world, we're only here for a short time. We're not here to please everybody. We're not here to save the world. You know, we're only here for a short time, and we're only going to please the few that are actually one in one flesh with YAHAWASHI, bone of his bone. You see, Luke 7 and verse 33. For the John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and ye say he hath a devil. So here it is, John the Baptist. He didn't eat bread, he didn't drink wine. You know, he was a man of the wild. He was eating locusts and honey. You know, wild. You know. Now YAHAWASHI came, right? These are all prophets of the Lord. You know, you can't get around it. You can't deny it. Even the Pharisees and scribes, they couldn't deny that John the Baptist was a prophet. Esau, Herod, Pontius Pilate, they couldn't deny that they were a son of God. They were holy men. It says the Son of Man has come eating and drinking. You see, so now here it is, YAHAWASHI. He's coming. They called him a wine bibber. He was eating and drinking. He ate food. He ate fish. You know, he ate bread. He ate. All right. He drank wine. Yeah, he did. He was in the flesh. But guess what? He agreed with the Father for the Father's will. You see, he brought the new covenant. And ye say, behold, a gluttonous man and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. You see, and the reason why they said that is because the harlots and publicans and the sinners, the ones that weren't really accepted by the synagogue, they actually accepted YAHAWASHI for who he was, the Messiah, a prophet. You see, while the synagogue and those that were exalted and double honored, they denied YAHAWASHI. They hated him. They said he had a devil. Why hear ye him? They were always seeking about to stop him and kill him, and they want to kill Lazarus and all this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? Guys don't bring up the side of the truth. It's heavy. It's like the 2/3 that are in this truth, these false prophets, they're only going to bring out like 66.6% of this truth. But when it comes to 33.3%, that the end, the fulfillment of it all, the gospel, the new covenant, they're not going to talk about that. They can't fulfill it. They can't finish their course. But that's where we come in. The few, the elect, the 1/3, the 144,000, the election that have obtained it, that have the light. You see? Now check this out. I'm going to get this word for mystery in 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 7. All right, so the word mystery here, all right.
Strong's G 3466, Mustadion.
Now check this out, man. This is what I really wanted to get to, because this is just heavy, man. All right, so I'm going to read one part of this. Man. All right, well, two. All right, two. It says, hidden things, secret mystery. It says, generally, mysteries, religious secrets, confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. Man. So you guys are, a lot of you guys in this truth are ordinary mortals. You're not putting off the weak nature. The Lord said what? Put off now the weak nature, cast off the burdens of man, the mortal thoughts. That goes into your mind, how you think. Your heart. So the new covenant is about the heart, man. Lord said, I'm going to give you a new heart. You see? A heart of flesh. What flesh is that? The flesh of YAHAWASHI. It says, of God, the secret counsels which govern God in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly. Man, bro. And that's that stumbling block, man. YAHAWASHI. As these things are plain to the godly, there are stumbling blocks to the wicked. Man, bro. It's heavy, man. 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. See, we're showing you the mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. You You see, and that process has to begin first in your mind. You have to agree with Yahushua. You have to accept Yahushua into your heart. He's knocking right now. You have to let him in. But guys are not letting him in because they don't know the voice. They don't know the Lord. They're ashamed. They're ignorant of the gospel. They're ignorant to the truth. Now it says we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed, right? Now check this out. The word sleep means to be dead. Guys are dead. What's inside of them, they're dead. John 11:11, these things said he, and after that he saith unto them, our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Yahushua spake of his death, but they thought that he spoken of taking of rest in sleep. Then said Yahushua unto them, plainly Lazarus is dead. You see that? So these things are hard to understand to the ungodly, man. And even David said, lest I sleep. The sleep of death. Let me get this. This is what guys are doing. Guys are dead, man. They're not alive. And the Lord said, touch not the unclean thing. And the Lord also said, if you touch the body of a dead thing, then you're going to be unclean. You're going to be dead. So guys, they're touching dead things. You know, Matthew 23, they go around, they walk over guys that are tombs and graves, and they don't even realize that they're tombs and graves, man. Psalms 13. And 2, how long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? Right, because wisdom comes much sorrow. But Lord, he's comforting us, and he's turning our sorrow into joy. It says, how long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Right, and that's what's happening. The most vilest men are exalted on every side. Dead stones, great dead stones. You guys are exalted above us. You are. Because this is your world. But Lord, he's destroying this world. He's destroying you. You guys' countenance is failing. Because you didn't take heed to the counsel of the Lord. You denied the advice of the Lord, which is his true love. This is true love. It says, consider and hear me, O Lord, my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved, right? And we're in Jacob's trouble. Those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved, right? And we're not, the righteous is an everlasting foundation. We're not going to be moved. We're to be unmovable, abounding in the work of the Lord, putting it to rest, putting it, fulfilling it, completing this work, doing our duty. You see, the whole duty of man is to fear the Lord and keep his commandments. And Yahushua said, if you keep my commandments, you are my friends. You are my disciples indeed. So Yahushua brought commandments. He brought new commandments. What did the Lord say? His commandments are not grievous. See, the old covenant, these elderly apostles, these false prophets, they're grievous. Oh, you have to give me your money. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this. But all the Lord said, hey, you have to just lay down your life daily for me and just follow me. That's all you have to do. You have to love me with all your soul. You have to love your brother as yourself. That's all you have to do. You have to be sincere. A daily sacrifice. You have to love not your life unto death. You have to love the Lord more than you love your life. See, it's not grievous. You see? The Lord said, come unto me that you are heavy laden. I'll give you rest. The Lord's going to give us rest. You see? Colossians 1 in verse 25 says, matter of fact, 24 says, who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Yahushua in my flesh for his body's sake, which is the church. See, and what did Paul say? Let no man, trouble me anymore, because I bear the marks of Yahushua. You see, because we're a part of his body, and we're healed by his stripes. You see, whereof I am made a minister according to the dispensation of God, which is given to me for you to fulfill the word of power. You see that? Even the mystery which hath been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints, to whom God would make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is YAHAWASHI in you, the hope of glory. And that's heavy because When you actually have Yahawashi in you and you understand the riches of the glory of this mystery, you're not going to sell out. You're not going to do this for money. You're not going to do this for social media or for clout. You're going to do this for your master. You're going to do this for the Lord, whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, right? And this is a warning too. Like Batman, this is not just a signal, it's a warning, right? And this is a warning too. A lot of you guys are lukewarm, man, and you're not following the Spirit. You're and like I said, man, we're not in a time of like using many words and like I said, we're not in first grade anymore, man. We're not children anymore. You have to be a man. You see? It says, and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahawashi. You see that? Perfect. And see, the only way you're going to be perfect is if you're in Yahawashi. You're with him. You're on. This is an inside job. It's on the heart. Whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worketh in me mightily. You see that? Mightily, not weakly. You got these corrupted elderly apostles. They're over here in the freaking in a back of a Chuck E. Cheese, on the side of a Chuck E. Cheese somewhere in a dumpster, talking about, oh yeah, we street teaching, bro. That bro, guys' clock is all broken. You know, guys' clock is just broken. They don't know what time it is, man. They don't know what time, what season we in. You know, it is crazy. That is a broad gate that leadeth to destruction. These guys don't care about you. They don't care about the flock. They don't love the sheep. They do not. You see, but they tell you smooth things to act like they love you. Like Dayton out there in Texas. Shalom, shalom, shalom. To the election, you know. It's weak as hell, man. Weak as hell. And the Lord said the prophets, that they're not in king's houses with kingly garments and looking good and comfortable. No, they're not. The Lord said the two witnesses shall be prophesying in sackcloth. We're to be hated. You see? Genesis 2:23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Right? And we were taken out of Yahawashi. We were made by Yahawashi. And when you go to Samuel, it talks about that as well. You know, they made a covenant. They made a covenant with David. They said, we're bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. You know, and David would lead them in and bring them out. You know, lead them, show them the way. You see, Matt has a spirit. Sirach 11:4. Boast not of thy clothing. And that's what guys are doing. They're boasting. They don't make their boast of God, that God is their father. They don't make their boast of that. They don't, like, what we're doing, we're showing you that we boast in our power all the day long, right? We do glory and boast in our Lord. See, but the Lord said, boast not of thy clothing and raiment. And that's what guys do. They boast in what they have, the outward garment. But really, see, but when Isaiah showed you that sign of him being naked, it showed you that, like, Isaiah was covered in the spirit. Isaiah was covered, man. You know, even though he was carnally naked, spiritually he was covered. But you have these guys, they have all these change of clothes, and they look good on the outside. They make it look real good on the outside, but on the inside, they're not covered. Their sins aren't covered. Their conscience is not. Their conscience is condemning them. It says, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor, for the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden. You see that? So if you're not, like, in a sense, hidden right now, then you're not doing nothing. Your works aren't being stored up in heaven. A lot of you guys are doing these to be seen of men. Your works and your payoff, you receive your consolation, and it's of the earthly, devilish, the corruptible crown, the temporary crown, you see? But we ain't working for that. We ain't working for that. Jeremiah 34 and verse 12. Therefore the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus saith Yahweh, the God of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, at the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother in Hebrew, which hath been sold unto thee. And when he hath served thee 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. See, but guys, they're not letting our people go. They're keeping them bound in their sins. They're keeping them a slave. They're keeping them spoiled. You see? Oppressing them. Just like Esau says, but your fathers hearken not unto me, neither incline their ear. And that's how guys teach. These false prophets, these Israelite false prophets, they teach just like these Edomite masters of old. You know, they would take certain things out of the Bible, you know, and then what was the main thing they teach? Oh, servants, obey your masters, obey your masters. But guess what they wouldn't bring out? They wouldn't bring out YAHAWASHI in Matthew 23. They wouldn't talk about, they take certain things out of the Bible. What did YAHAWASHI say in Matthew 23? And you have one master, which is YAHAWASHI. Come on, man. You see, you guys the joke is on you guys, man. The joke is on you guys, man. And ye were now turned and had done right in my sight, in proclaiming liberty every man to his neighbor. And ye had made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But ye turned and polluted my name, and caused every man his servant, and every man his handmaid, whom ye had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and for handmaids. See, so that's how it shows you. This is an example of how our people have surpassed the deeds of the wicked. You know, they're worse than Esau. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, thus saith, because when you really examine what was going on in the time of Rome with YAHAWASHI and the synagogue and the Pharisees and elders, the YAHAWASHI was freeing our people. That's what the Spirit was doing. Isaiah 61 to proclaim liberty to the prisoners. You know what I'm saying? To set them free. But the thing is with the Pharisees and scribes was that they were profiting off of our people's ignorance, not knowing the new covenant in YAHAWASHI. Working with Esau, they didn't want to lose their place. Same thing now, man. It's no different. It says, in proclaiming liberty, everyone to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to be removed into all the kings of the earth. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of my covenant, which they have made before me, when they cut the calf in twain and passed between the parts thereof, the princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests and all the people of the land which have passed between the parts of the calf. I will even give them into the hand of their enemies and into the hand of them that seek their life. And their dead body shall be for me unto the fowls of the heaven and to the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies. Right? So just like I read earlier in Corinthians, right? How the princes of this world didn't know YAHAWASHI. For if they had known who YAHAWASHI was, they wouldn't have crucified him. You see, so now there's blood on their hands. So same thing's going to happen now to you guys that are highly exalted. You elderly apostles, you praised, you loved, everyone, you know, they fear you, they're afraid of you. You're going to be given into the hands of your enemies. You guys are going to be given into the hands of the concentration camps and all this heavy judgment. See? And into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, saith Yahweh, and cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it, and then take it and burn it with fire, and I'll make the cities of Judah a desolation without inhabitant. That's right, because you weren't like the he-goats on the mountains trying to leave this place. You wanted to stay base and shallow and not get deep into the spirit. So that's on you. You're going to reap what you sown. You're going to reap what you sown. You sown to the flesh, you're going to reap what? Corruption, destruction. But those of us, the few that reap into the spirit, everlasting life. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh Ba'Shem, YAHAWASHI, Rakakadash, Abba Ball, and Shalom.
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide. How to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on.